YouTube, it's your boy FPL Kayman, and I'm back with a brand new video. In today's video, I'll be covering my Game Week 13 team review, as well as my Game Week 14 team selections, as well as the transfer plans. And we're also going to be briefly covering the captaincy for Game Week 14. So without further ado, let's dive in. So as you guys can see, for Game Week 13, your boy had total 41 points. I did consider free hitting, as you guys know. I was contemplating it. Probably should have, but I would have maybe gained extra 10, 20 points roughly, which would have been worth it, to be honest, because a lot of these assets that are highly owned, the likes of Mbemo, Semenyo, even Saka to some extent, did not do that much damage. Even Arsenal didn't keep any clean sheets as well. Senesi, Bournemouth have been extremely disappointing. And Munoz, disappointing as well. The only two highly EO assets probably returned are Saka and Mateta, but even then they didn't hold. It was like 6 to 5 points. The asset who did return, of course, like massively, is obviously Thiago. Shout out to him. And O'Reilly was my transfer in. He did get a return in 4 points. I think it's kind of underestimated how much points he could have got. I think the 4 points didn't justify it. He could have easily got 2 assists as well as a goal. But it is what it is. Overall, 41 points. A small green arrow, but it's slightly just 1 point, I'd say. So can't be too mad. I could have obviously, in hindsight, activated the chip and gained. So for example, I would have had Foden. I would have probably had, of course, a Villa defense, double Villa defense. I would have gained some extra points there. But I still say the chip, maybe I'll gain that 20 points, in Game Week 16 when I do free hit. Overall, I can't complain too much. I'm quite happy with it. And Salah did get benched, and ultimately he didn't get any points. So that was a bit of a, saving grace there for me. But overall, the free hit was a success for people that did free hit, and I can't complain too much. I'm still managed to maintain a green arrow, considering the fact that Haaland was TC'd by almost 1.5 million managers, and there was overall 500,000 free hit active. So with all these chips being active, to get a little bit of a green arrow is kind of typical. So yeah. Let's now move on to my Game Week 14 transfer plans. So yes, Game Week 14 transfer plans, you guys can see, I do have 2 options. Senesi did get suspended. He picked up a yellow card versus Sunderland. To be honest, he's just a bit of a disaster class. Like in the 95th minute, he picked up a yellow card. He did hit DEFCON, thankfully, but he hasn't kept any clean sheets as of recently. And I've got double Bournemouth D, and I'm looking to move out, to be honest with you. And there's this one man that I've been considering buying for a while, and that's Malik Thiaw. Like, he's been phenomenal. He's been obviously Newcastle first choice since, I would say, around Game Week 4-ish. And he's been starting every game, and Newcastle fans absolutely love him. He's been starting in the Champions League, Premier League, in almost every competition. He's pretty much first choice. He's pretty good for DEFCON as well. He did score 2 goals. It might seem like a bit of a reactionary point-chasing transfer, but really and truly it is not. He's been someone on my radar for a while, and I did look at him briefly in the previous weeks, but Senesi has such a good fixtures, I couldn't really drop him. But now, obviously, because he's suspended, this is a window for me to drop him off. And you got, obviously, Thiago. He's got really good fixtures coming up, especially because he plays Burnley in Game Week 15, and then he also has Sunderland in 16, as well as after that, he does have a Wolves as well. But in between, there's Chelsea and United. But overall, he's got very good fixtures coming up. Tottenham at home, I think, is a good fixture as well. So that's something that I'm looking at. I think Senesi is like, 4.8 million for me. I think if I bring in Thiago, it's like 4.9. Only 1.1 million I have to spend to be able to upgrade that position. And another alternative I was considering is selling King for Minte, but that means I would have 5 midfielders and 3 strikers. I'd always have a bit of a benching dilemma week to week, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have too much benching dilemmas because obviously you can get things wrong. So King is an enabler as a 8 attacker, like someone that doesn't hardly ever have to come on, and it's easy to bench every week, so it's fine, I think. But TR does make sense because of the fixtures and the fact that obviously, he is first choice Newcastle at home in the next 2 fixtures. I think they could definitely keep it clean, and he can maybe get even DEFCON as well. So yeah, that's the move I'm looking at. I think that's probably one of the best Senesi replacements. I could look at an Arsenal defender as well, maybe Calafiori, or for example, I could got Saliba, but Saliba is obviously, he's injured as well as Gabriel. So because those 2 starting centre backs are out, I'm not that high on Arsenal D. I already have Timber, so I'm kind of swerving that one. So I'm going with Thiago. But yeah, let's now move on to my Game Week 14 team selection. So for Game Week 14, I'm lining up with Petrovic at the back. He's got Everton at home. Hopefully, finally, Bournemouth can keep some clean sheet. I hope so. I mean, I don't know if they will, but hopefully get some save points at least. But it's a decent fixture. Hopefully, he does keep a clean sheet and get some save points. And then, of course, the new transfer as I discussed is Thiago. Tottenham at home. Tottenham is struggling to score goals. And really and truly, the only 2 options that they have to be able to get something done is Pedro Pro crossing it with the balls in, or is Kudus doing something out of nothing. So they don't have very good attack at the moment. So I do like him for a clean sheet there. And then you got Timber, Brentford at home, hopefully a clean sheet as well as attack and return. I mean, Arsenal, even though they're missing Saliba and Gabriel at the moment, I still think at home they're going to be quite formidable. They do have a strong midfield, and I think he could do quite well. Munoz luckily didn't get suspended like Senesi, so I do get to have him for Burnley away. So I do think it's a good fixture for him to get both a clean sheet as well as an attack and return. Versus United, he wasn't that involved, to be honest with you. I mean, he could have one, I would say, one chance, half chance, but it wasn't that big of a chance. But I think he can definitely do well. And Palace's leg is kind of falling off at the moment. They're picking up injuries. I.SARR is injured, of course. So I do worry about Mateta and Munoz, to be honest with you. So I think after the Burnley fixture, I do have to reassess on whether if I want to keep these assets long term, whether if it's a good point to, maybe exit Mateta or Munoz. But I'll most likely keep Munoz because I think their defense is still solid. Last but not least, O'Reilly. As I said, he could have had a mega haul last week. They did concede 2 goals to Leeds, and O'Reilly did get an assist, luckily for us. But one thing I do worry about is the fact that they're quite wide open, and to concede 2 goals to Leeds is not very good in terms of defense-wise. And Donnarumma's, I think, on 4 yellow cards, he's going to get suspended soon. So if he's suspended as well, the chance of them keeping clean sheet does go low. But again, O'Reilly is such a incredible fullback that he attacks so much that he's always involved, whether it be on set pieces or from open play. He can always get an attack and return. That is something, that's why I did go there. Even though it might be a slight rotation risk, I do think that even if they do concede, he can get me an attack and return versus Fulham. And then moving on to the midfield, he goes Saka, Semenyo, and Mbeumo and Enzo. The midfield looks absolutely stacked with Brentford at home for Saka, Semenyo got Everton, with Mbeumo with West Ham, and Enzo with Leeds away. I think the fixtures are phenomenal for the midfielders, but as we know, football is not played on paper, it's played on grass. So ultimately, these players do need to, at the end of the day, return. Semenyo has been extremely disappointing. He's been blanking for the last, 5 game weeks in a row now, and same with Mbeumo. The last 2 games he's also blank, so I do need Mbeumo and Semenyo to start turning up and get some returns. Enzo Fernandez, he did get a return versus Burnley, but blank versus, of course, Arsenal, which is a tough fixture as expected. But I think his time is also coming up in my team. I think I do have to maybe deal with him. And the fact that Palmer is now also back, rumored to be back, so he can probably take the pence of Enzo. And you also have Reece James taking up the set pieces, so he's losing his many routes to points. And I do think after Leeds, I might have to ship him out as well. So I do have a lot of issues to address. Moving to the forward line, I do have the Earl of Norway as well as Mateta. Haaland as well as Mateta have decent fixtures on paper. To be honest, Mateta has a great fixture with Burnley away. I know some people are concerned about his minutes, but due to the fact that SARR picked up an injury and he'll be out until after the AFCON, I do think he's going to probably start, and I do think they need him to be able to produce some goals. They don't have much depth in terms of on attack. I think really and truly Nketiah can come in, yes, but then again, Nketiah alone is not enough. They may need to play both of them together. And when SARR did come off and Nketiah did come on, and they both played together with Mateta and Nketiah. So I do think he'll probably start. And he could do well for sure. But as I said, both him as well as Enzo might be on the chopping blocks. And I might to start addressing these issues in the near future. But on the bench, I do have Dubravka as well as Thiago and King and Mukiele. Thiago, there are a little bit of rumours that he may pick up a knock versus Burnley, but I think he should be probably fine. But I'm going to wait for the press conference on Tuesday, as I'm recording the video on a Monday, to know exactly what is the extent of the injury. Keep in mind, guys, I have not confirmed the transfer for Thiago. It is just a preliminary transfer that I'm thinking of. If Thiago is out long term, I'm probably going to maybe take him out ahead of Senesi, because Senesi will be back after suspension. So that's something that I'm going to wait before I do the move, because Thiago is not really going up in price. So yeah, in terms of captaincy, the Earl of Norway, Haaland, aka Haaland, does have the captaincy armband. As you guys will see on the graphics at the moment, captaincy-wise, there are really 3 options, I would say. I mean, I would say probably Haaland number 1 for me, probably Bruno 2, and Saka 3rd. And the reason being Haaland number 1, I do think on paper, even though the fixture looks tough, I think Fulham, they kept clean sheets versus the team that they should have, like Wolves and Burnley. But I do think that in terms of the top of opposition, they do tend to, slip up and do concede. So I do like the Haaland, the fact that he's got good minutes and he does have a high ceiling. And with Bruno, look, he's playing a deeper role, but he has so many routes to points, DEFCON, set pieces and whatnot. I do think he can definitely do well versus West Ham, and they're quite horrible from set pieces as well. So he can definitely get assists, of course. And he's quite good, still, even from open play. I do like Bruno as the 2nd best. The reason why I have Saka as the 3rd best, though, is because of the fact that he's expected minutes. It's a 2-day turnaround compared to Bruno, who does have a 3 to 4 days turnaround. It is a Thursday game, and they just played on a Sunday. So I do like that more rest for Bruno compared to Saka. And then Saka is a 2-day turnaround, and then they have another 2-day turnaround. They play Villa, which is a tough fixture as well. And the fact that he played Bayern, Chelsea, and then he's going to play Brentford, and then he's got Villa, that's just too much minutes he's going to play. So I don't think he gets more than 70 to 80 minutes. And that is one of the reasons why I don't like Saka as much as Bruno, I would say, as a 2nd captaincy. But yeah, that would be it for me, guys. I know it's a quick video. It is a midweek, so do appreciate that. I have not been able to do too much content. But ultimately, these are the main things. I know some of you guys might be thinking, okay, do you keep Semenyo or do you keep X? I do think Semenyo is a hold for 1 week. I do think you should give it a bit more time. And with guys like, for example, Senesi, I do think probably you can jump him off right now, especially if you don't have a good backup coming off the bench. For example, I got Mukiele and King and Thiago. They don't have very good fixtures at the moment, so I don't want to start them. That is why I'm looking to upgrade him. So Senesi is probably a sell as well, but Semenyo, I do think you can be a bit more patient with him. And in terms of other injuries, I think I.SARR, I know you guys are probably going to ask what's the best I.SARR replacement. In terms of my midfielder's favorite option, I'll probably say Rice. I'll probably say he can, to be honest with you, like he can go for, like if it's a short term, maybe Ahmad from United in that same price bracket. If you want to go a bit more higher, I think Foden is fine to buy as well. I think his minutes look good as well. And maybe if you like Gakpo's minutes, maybe go there, but I still don't think he's going to be 100% nailed. So yeah, those are my short list probably. I'll probably say Rice for the favorite one, especially if you don't have triple Arsenal already. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys on the deadline stream. Peace out.